Shalom, giving all up to you, how Bashem, Al Shai Bashem, Rakakwada, Shalom to the 144,000 and rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, The Prophet is God's Man. Now, when I say God, I'm meaning the Most High. And the reason why I said God or God's Man is because that's a direct quote from Orson Welles when he narrated the movie The Late Great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey. Back, I believe that was 78, 79, probably 79. It was in the theaters. And this is when I was a kid. This is when I was in my teens. And me and a friend of mine, which we were always into the scriptures, we always feared the Most High. I believe the friend I had, he's a pastor, and I believe he might be in Cuba, he might be in Florida. But we were always into we were in the martial arts together, but we were always into the Most High, into the prophecies. And so when that movie came out, we both said, "Oh, we gotta go see this movie." You know. Then I remember seeing other movies. There was a lot of movies out concerning, the gospel, the Messiah, and so forth. There was a movie that came out. I forget the name of it, but it was a documentary that was in the theaters where it said in the movie, I forget the name of the movie, but it was dealing with the fact that our Lord came to the Americas and spoke to the indigenous people of America. And you had documents, but that was so long, I don't even remember the movie, but I remember seeing it very vaguely. And it might have came out after The Late Great Planet Earth. So anyway, when Orson Welles made that statement, it stuck with me, So what I did was, I was watching a video that Apostle Ramlab had put up, and he was getting heated too about this particular guy saying that the statement that I made concerning Hassad now a lot of people are mad because they said they called the cops on him. And what I meant by that is he's a persona non grata. We don't deal with that person. We're not going to talk to him. We're not going to dialogue with him. And if he harass you, just call the cops or pack up and leave. We have nothing to do. He's on his own. He hasn't received that judgment. He was a young man that came in foolhardy, with pride, and he came under the condemnation of the devil. That's why the devil taught him that breakdown about Gog. The devil taught him that breakdown. Even Bishop Nate stopped teaching that bullshit because when he taught it, we got on his ass and he stopped teaching. Now maybe he still believes it, but it ain't coming out. And he knows Nate knows he done effed up. He done messed up. So anyway, the Apostle Ramla was going into and he said this. He said he had made the trek from Connecticut out to the west. He had to make a drop off to Chicago. Then he went to Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Jackson 5 is from. A bunch of Gadites. But he had apologized that he didn't make a video because he was kind of tired. And he said it a couple of times. Well, he didn't have to, But that's the spirit that all you men in GMS should be in. That if you don't do a video, the spirit ain't on, you should be mad at yourself. You should want to do a video. You got to want to live. Inside joke. So anyway, as he was doing the video, I didn't watch the whole video because he had made a statement. He had mentioned the fact that he was going to get a Chromebook. So I know exactly why it went over your head as to why he said he's going to get a Chromebook. the reason why you're going to get a Chromebook, because I told him not even a couple of days ago, actually, I think it was on a Friday, I said, when you go out to the West, get you a Chromebook, so that way you can do a screen capture on the Chromebook. So when he said it, I said, let me do a video, so that video is up, is how to do a screen capture, how to screen capture with the Chromebook. It's a great tool to have in that Chromebook, that technology. And it's also good to have a hotspot. Now you have it on your smartphones, but you can actually get a hotspot. It's by Netgear. It's called a Nighthawk, and I'm gonna probably get it. It's a hotspot, but you got to pay, I believe, I don't know, $40, $50 a month. But you can go anywhere and get internet. So you can bring a laptop with you. So there's no excuse. Oh, I didn't do a video because I wasn't in my house. I wasn't in front of my PC. Well, wait a minute. You got a smartphone. You probably got a laptop. If there's breaking news, you somewhere and something major happens and you're in that vicinity. And matter of fact, I got a camera in my car that I keep charged up. In case something happens and I'm there as a witness, I can bring out the camera. I can show you where I'm at. I'm at this place where this thing took place. And I can go do a little impromptu video. And that's what we do a lot too. We do a lot of impromptu videos. So anyway, I said, let me go to the word prophet. So I'm just going to read some of these precepts. I'm going to jump a lot of them, but I'm going to read a lot of them. And then I'm going to go into the word prophet. Because you got prophets of the Most High, and you got false prophets. You got guys that claim that they're prophets, but the Most High is not dealing with them. And how do we know that the Most High is not dealing with a false prophet? If a false prophet breaks down the scriptures the wrong way, it could be even one scripture. If he breaks it down knowingly the wrong way or not knowingly, he's not a prophet. He's a false prophet. So you got a lot of false prophets out there. It says the very first time the word prophet, Prophet, is mentioned in scriptures in the book of Genesis 20, chapter 7. So I'm going to read it. It said, now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet. Who is it talking about? It's talking about Abraham. Abram being Abraham. So Abraham was a prophet. And the scriptures speak about the Most High will do nothing unless he reveal the secrets unto the servants of the prophets. And the prophets are Israelites. Now, are there cases where other nations have prophesied? Yes, Balaam prophesied. He saw the future. He saw the kingdom. He saw that how Israel is going to overcome everybody. So he was a prophet, but he was not an Israelite. And he was not going to get to receive the blessings of an Israelite, because he even said that. He said he wished when he dies, and not too many words. That's in Numbers 23. Read Numbers 23, 24. And I believe the account is in Numbers 22 as well, if I'm not mistaken. But the meat is in Numbers 23 and Numbers 24. And he says what these people, the Israelites, going to do to the neighboring nations. As a matter of fact, I might even go into that just to see what the Bible Hub says, a commentary says. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. I don't have anything lined up. I'm just going by the Spirit. Okay, Numbers 24, Pente Cuatro. Let me see, numbers 24. Let me do this. Let me go 20 and 20. Let's see what happens. Okay, the fourth part of all right, let me go to 20. I might go up a couple of verses. Let's wait till it comes up. And for the brother, if you're watching this video, the brother that came up to me concerning his pancreas, his situation, I'm going to do videos on that. We've been thinking about you, Ak. And I'm going to say this. And I'm going to go to the actual page that I pulled up if I still got it. I can find it again. You got to switch your diet over to a G-Bombs diet. G-Bombs. G-B-O-M-B-S. G-Bombs. G-B-O-M-B-S. G stands for greens. B stands for berries. I believe it's either berries on the first B or the second B. But one of the B's is berries. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this here. Okay, here it is. Here, so I can get it in order. Okay, so G-Bombs. Food Revolution Network. Let me put this in my favorites. Okay, the B is either beans or berries. G-Bombs. So you're going to have to do your best to do as much as you can as far as following a G-Bombs diet. And you got to cut out all that junk food. Cut the sugars, cut down on the salts. If you're going to use salt, you can use a kosher salt or a Himalayan is saying that there's, if you can use that, you can use that. But there's another salt that I use, which is, it's sea salt. It's Irish sea salt. It's organic. So it says G-Bombs. G is for greens. And it goes into the greens, leafy vegetables. You got to watch out with the spinach, because you'll eat too much spinach. It's a good thing, but too much is no good, because you develop from the spinach, what is it called? Oxalates. You can look that up. You have certain things that you eat that are good. They say that they're good, but you have lectins. G-Bombs. B is for, so the first B is for beans. Healthy, organic, non-GMO beans. Onions is for the O. Mushrooms, so you got to know what mushrooms to eat and which mushrooms. Some of them are better than others. Some of them you can't eat, some of them you can, so you got to do some research. B, the other B is for berries. So greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, blueberries, blackberries, elderberries, sambuca. When you get a cold, you buy sambuca from the pharmacy. Well, you can make your own sambuca. You take the the elderberries. You blend them up with a little bit of water, maybe something else, and you just drink it like in the wintertime. And seeds. Seeds. Certain nuts you can eat. A lot of green smoothies. No more Mama's Fried Chicken. No more Wendy's. No more Burger King. No more McDonald's. No more Five Guys burgers and fries. You got to eat garlic. There's all kind of stuff. Red onions. These are scallions. All organic. And then you got to take probiotics. And then you got to exercise, whether you walk. I just did a walk. I did a 40-minute walk, which is approximately 2 miles, with 2 5-pound weights, and I was doing my presses, my curls, my what do you call it? The rotator cuff, not cup, the rotator cuff muscles while I was walking. And I was doing my 3 pieces, my 1, 2, 3s, my jab, right cross hook, jab, right cross double hook, while I was walking at a pretty good pace. I did 2 miles in about 40. I didn't time it, but I would guess about 40 minutes. 40 minutes. If I did 3 miles, it would have been about 55 minutes to an hour, depending on your pace. And what I used to do is run. I would run for 2 minutes, then walk for a minute. And that's a buildup. Eventually, I'll start doing that again. But if you can just do a walk is great, especially with them weights in your hand. And one time I had a 20-pound weighted vest. And I'll eventually go back into that with the weighted. So I got 30 extra pounds on me, and I'm doing exercises. So, and then I have my super green smoothie and my supplements. So I'm feeling like $1 million. I'm feeling like $1 billion when you adjust for inflation. So anyway, let's come over here. So that's the beginning, brother. That's what you got to do. Got to do a whole lifestyle change, and that mass will disappear. Because the doctors ain't gonna fix you like that. They get from what I hear, anybody that goes to med school, they get only 1 month of nutrition. How much can you learn in 1 month about nutrition? You got to spend years in nutrition, proper diet. So anyway, let's come over here. I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right too. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. And by the way, you should start using this, because even Bishop Nate has enough sense, because he uses it now. He slipped and said, go to the Bible Hub. That's what this is, the Bible Hub. Then I got on him about, you go to the Bible Hub. Where you get it from? Then he started saying commentary. He meant the Bible Hub. There's many commentaries. Out of all the commentaries, he had to pick the Bible Hub. Why? Because he's been watching us. As he said, I watch all of your videos. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges, the utterance on Amalek, which we know who they are. And he saw Amalek, the country of Amalek, the Kenites, which this idiot Vocab Malone says, Caleb is a Kenite. Because I tell you, there was in Caleb's line, there is a Kenite or Kenizzite, but it also in Esau's line. And he's talking about the same thing. If you go to Quran, I believe it's 1 Chronicles 1 and 1 Chronicles 4, they mention Esau's line. The Kenite or the Kenizzite is mentioned there, and it mentions Caleb's line. He was not an Edomite. It says, might be just visible from the Moabite hills, or laying far to the south and southwest. The first of the nations, i.e., the choicest. There is no historical evidence that the Amalekites ever occupied a high position among the nations. See Numbers 24 and 7. Well, they have the higher position now. They got their position now. So let's look at this. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end, which is now, shall be that he perish forever. So where's the evidence that he perished forever? And latter and be even to one perishing. He shall come to the position of one who is perishing. The destruction of the Amalekites began in the reign of Saul. Yeah, but it didn't finish in the reign of Saul. Saul disobeyed the order. Was continued by David, but David didn't destroy all the Amalekites. And was completed by Hezekiah. No, it was not. The Amalekites are still here, which are Edomites. Let me come up. Let me go to the 19th verse. Let me go to the 18th verse. And Edom shall be a seer also shall for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Now you got this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu. He said this in the beginning of that war, the Gazan war, whatever you want to call it. He referred to the Palestinians as Amalekites. He said we got to get rid of the Amalekites. When you read the prophecy of the Amalekites, it was said of Saul to kill everybody, the babies, the women, the children, and the men, everybody. So he said that. It says, which were his enemies, and he's talking about Israel, as simply his enemies, attached very awkwardly to the preceding words. Perhaps a word has been lost, and we should read his enemies and contract with the next clause. Israel doeth valiantly. Look up the word valiantly. We're going to be, we're going to take over. So when did this happen? They're not telling you. So they go back, he shall do valiantly as they did, particularly under the command of David. Nope. Part of it happened during the time of David. But this is a future prophecy. The Edomites are still here. The Amalekites are still here. And Edom, the Edomites, shall be a possession. And that's Amos 9 and 12. When it said we shall possess Edom, it's talking about their land. And all the heathen, which is nations, the word nation, heathen goes back to the word nation, but the root goes back to the land. Your inheritance is your land. Seir also, the dwelling place of Edom, shall be a possession. Amos, let's go back to Amos. Let's go back to Amos 9. For his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Ultimately, that's talking about Numbers 24 and 18, the perfect precept is Amos 9 and 12 on down. And then Balaam tells Balak, let me tell you what these people are going to do. You want to curse them? You cannot curse with the Most High blessed. He said, let me tell you what these people are going to do to you and the rest of these people, the Edomites, the Amalekites, the Philistines, the Ammon, Moab. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, power, rule, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. The city's representing that city. Let's see what they say. Shall one have dominion? It says, and it says out of Jacob. What precept should come to your mind? Almost immediately, Isaiah chapter 11 and 11. This and the following verb are impersonal, and dominion will be exercised out of Jacob, and the remnant of Israel's enemy will be destroyed out of the city. What city is it talking about? If the text is right, out of the city is parallel with out of Jacob. It is therefore the city of the conquerors, i.e. Zion, which are the Israelites. Yeah, you can say that we're a city. Yep. Because out of Jacob, it says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion. Not talking about David, it's talking about Yahushua. We read 20. And he looked on the Kenites, which are Edomites, and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest thy nest in a rock. That's talking about caves. (22nd verse). Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted until Ashur or Assyrians shall carry thee away captive. Now that took place. And he took up his parable and said, alas, who shall live when the Most High doeth this? What is the Most High going to do? He's going to destroy this system by destroying two key places. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth, and Palestine. But Palestine is going to be built back up. The Jays only have part of Palestine. They don't have Saudi Arabia. They don't have Havilah. They only have a portion of the land. And took up his parable and said, alas, who shall live when the Most High doeth this? When he brings this destruction, if you're on that plot of land, Babylon, you will be utterly destroyed. When the Most High doeth this, the only rendering which the words will bear is on account of the Most High's appointing him. Numbers 24, 21 to 24. Were all one poem, as some think. Him might refer to Ashur, appointed by the Most High as an instrument of destruction. They don't understand. If they understood, they would say it's talking about Babylon. They would make a reference to the book of Revelation. Several different chapters. Okay. And ships shall come from the coast of Chittim. Chittim is Cyprus today. By the way, that's where Alexander came out of. He came out of, his father came out of Macedon. His son was born in Chittim. It says, and shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. The only nation that's going to perish forever are the Edomites. So that's all they're going to really go into. So this guy, Balaam, was a Midianite. Mosai opened up his mind, and the man whose eyes were open, his eyes were open. The king of Babylon's eyes were open to receive the vision of those kingdoms, Babylon, Medo-Persia. So now let's come back over here, and I'm not going to go too much further. This is going to be a continuing thing. We're going to go make you understand who the prophets are. You just can't wake up one morning, nigga, and say, oh, I want to be a prophet. And all of a sudden, presto changeo, your black ass becomes a prophet. It doesn't work that way. The Most High has to call you from the womb, from before the womb in the spirit. If you are truly a prophet now, you were a prophet in the past. If you were not a prophet in the past, you are not a prophet now. Goes back to Matthew 25, which is one of my favorite parables. The 10 virgins, 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. And you know the rest of the story. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet. For you that say, well, you know, Abraham gonna be in the kingdom, but he's not an Israelite. He is an Israelite. He was just not being, the Most High didn't call him Israelites at that time. When there's a thing called reincarnation. Reincarnation is a biblical concept. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. None of them were being called Israel, except Jacob. He was named Israel. When they came back in the future, in their future lives, they came back as Israel. They came back through the loin of Jacob's sons. So Abraham is an Israelite. All right? Genesis chapter 6, when it speaks about the sons of God is another way of saying Israel. Israel just means sons of God or princes of God. That's all it means. A prince is a son. So this is why we don't waste time with you Christians. If you Christians roll up, we hit you hard with them scriptures and send you about your way. And like I said, why are the Christians coming, these Edomites and these different people coming to us? Because they know we have the answers. If I can just get one of them to say that you can be an Edomite and be saved, it will make my day. It ain't gonna make your day unless you go to a false prophet. Like this guy, Rakar Shaya, that demon, the head of the GOCC. You can go to him. Go to him. Oh, you can get with my main man, Pastor Dow. Get with Pastor Dow. You could be an Edomite and be saved according to Pastor Dow, or according to the GOCC, or according to these demons, these moguls that left GMS Boston and got their own thing. In order for us to make it to the kingdom, according to what the moguls said, you gotta forgive Esau. I ain't forgiving the motherfucking Esau. I'm gonna have a fiery foot for his ass when I get on the other side. And America's a complete mess. It's a complete mess. They're trying hard as hell to get this demon elected. And this is the last go round. I see this, whoever's the president, I see this man being the chip coming and the destruction. Now that's all up to the Most High. The Most High can say, look, no, y'all gonna be here another 10 years. Guess what? We got to deal with it. I don't see this man going another 10 years. I see my personal opinion. I see the next president, whether it's Trump or Kamala or whoever, being the one that ushers in the destruction, the complete destruction of the system, the downfall of the beast system. Daniel 8, Daniel 7 and 9, on down. And Yahweh said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a God, lowercase, meaning a power, a judge, to Pharaoh, over Pharaoh. And Aaron, thy brother, shall be thy prophet. Moses said, I'm not a good speaker. I'm not an eloquent speaker. His brother Aaron was a better speaker. So he said, okay, you be a God and he'll be your prophet. You don't got to say too much. I'm going to give you relay the message to you. You give it to your brother and he relays it to the Israelites. Numbers 12 verse 6, I shall open this up. And he said, hear now my words. This is the Lord talking, he got mad at Miriam, because she was popping shit to Moses, her baby brother. She was the oldest. She said, I'm the motherfucker. And Moses turned her into a damn white woman, but restored her back. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. I receive visions. I receive dreams. And these dreams and these visions, come to pass, and things that are yet to come to pass. But the Most High deals with us, myself, and other prophets through the scriptures. Because the scriptures, everything's in the scriptures. You don't need visions and dreams no more. Most High comes to you with the scriptures, but the Most High can still give you visions and dreams. So I may come back to this, and I'm going to open this up. Deuteronomy 34 and 10. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom Yahweh knew face to face. When the sheep of the unclean animal was sent down to Peter, which Peter is, Moses came back as Peter, but he was wondering what was this vision all about. He didn't do that to Moses. He just gave him, he said, no, this is going to happen, not going to happen, this is going to happen. And that's it. Pass it on to your brother Aaron. And all Israel from Dan even to Beersheba knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of Yahweh. When they make the micro-C hip mandatory, then you're going to acknowledge who the true prophets are. Then you shall know there's been a prophet among you. Then it shall be known who are my chosen. When that prophecy comes to pass, and it's right at the door, when the MOTB prophecy come to pass, all you other Israelites out there, you're going to be shooken up. You're going to be shooken up. And if there's any of the elect in the IUIC, they're going to leave the IUIC. Hell, the leadership might leave the IUIC. Is it where GMS at? You're going to have to explain yourself. 1 Samuel 9 verse 9, read a few more. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. Now, when Rebekah inquired of the Lord, well, you read this scripture. when before time in Israel, when a man or woman went to inquire the Most High, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. So Ariel used to teach this, that Rebecca didn't, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that she went to a seer. It doesn't verify that she actually went to the Lord. But when you read this scripture, then you got to go back and think about the account with Rebecca. So she went to a seer, a prophet. And the Most High spoke to the prophet and said, there's two nations in thy womb, two manner of people. Because they were having a death match in there. This is why these Edomites blow you away, because they got that spirit of hate. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Seer just means to see. The word there is ra'ah, which means to see. You see something and you say something before it happens. You see the future. Read a couple more. That the king said unto Nathan the prophet, see now, I dwell in the house of cedar. That's the Most High speaking through the prophet Nathan the prophet. But the ark of the Most High dwelleth within curtains. So he was setting him up to build him a house. But he said, you can't build a house because you got too much blood in your hand. Most High don't want a bloody man to build his temple. So he had Solomon. Solomon had no blood on his hand. 1 Kings 1 verse 8. But Zadok the priest, or Tazadok, and Benaniah, which was a 37 mighty men, the son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shimei, and Rei, and the mighty men, 37 mighty men, which belonged to David, were not with Adonijah. The 37 mighty men of David were not with Adonijah, because they wanted Adonijah to be, he was a warrior type like his father. And David kind of like, yeah, he gonna be the king. So he had to, Bathsheba had to soften him up. So and I'm gonna read about it, when Bathsheba came in to soften him up, which Bathsheba bare Solomon, that's when Nathan came in. Nathan couldn't come and say, well, he's going to be the king. He had to soften him up with Bathsheba. But Nathan the prophet and Benaniah and the mighty men and Solomon his son, he called not. Yet David called not. And lo, while she yet talked with the king, King David, Nathan the prophet also came in. He said, you butter him up, you soften him up, but your ladies touch, then I'm going to come on in there. And they told the king, saying, behold, Nathan the prophet. And when he was come in before the king, he bowed himself before the king with his face toward the ground. The prophet had to get that message going to the king, but he had to humble himself. Remember, he came in right after Bathsheba. Bathsheba humbled him down. And now the Most High could have came to David in a dream. It came to, directly, sent a powerful angel and said, look, Solomon going to be the king. If not, I'm going to kill you. And King David said, call me Zadok the priest. Zadok the priest wasn't with Adonijah. Nathan the prophet wasn't with Adonijah. Benaniah wasn't with one of the 7 chief of the 37 mighty men, was not with Adonijah, the son of Joiada, and they came before the king. The 37 mighty men were not with Adonijah, and you would think the 37 mighty men would be with Adonijah because he was a warrior like unto them. But this was a spiritual thing. And Zadok or Tazadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anointed him their king over Israel, and blew ye with the trumpet and say, God save King Solomon. So he got softened up by Bathsheba. Nathan the prophet came down there. He softened him up too. He bowed down to him. in the form of worship because he wanted to drive that home. And David, you know, what happened? Who became king? Solomon. What did David say concerning the new king? He called him my Lord, my superior. That was the Savior vocab. There's no such thing as reincarnation. King Solomon did not come. Jesus was not King Solomon in another life. Well, why did King David? And that's what Yahweh Shai said to the wicked scribes and Pharisees. He asked them about why they called. He mentioned the Psalms about David referring to his son as Lord. He said, why he called him Lord? And what did the wicked scribes and Pharisees? They didn't answer him, and they never bothered him again. So now this is what I want to do. Like I said, you just can't wake up. Matter of fact, I might. You just can't wake up one morning and say I'm a prophet. It doesn't work that way. Let me look up the word prophet. Prophet. Does anybody know what a Tanakh is? What Tanakh is acronym? T-N-K. Ask a Christian that. Nabiah. Prophet is Nabiah. Nabi. Spokesman, speaker, prophet, false prophet, heathen prophet. Balaam was a heathen prophet. Let's go to the root of the word. Important to go to these root words. You need to start going to these root words in the Hebrew and the Greek, Bishop Nathaniel. Naba'ah, to prophesy. To prophesy under influence of divine spirits. You get a dream. It's not a regular dream. You realize it's a vision of false prophets. To prophesy under influence of divine spirit of false prophets, because you got people that get false the 400 prophets under Ahab. They got a false vision. They told him the false vision. Mosai gave Micaiah the real vision, which he didn't want to listen. I told you you're going to say bad things about me and cause him to be put to death. And he saw the sheep scatter. He said, I saw the sheep scatter because there was no shepherd. He was talking about King Ahab. I was going to go someplace else. What was I going to do? But anyway, Mosai will not go into more dealing with prophets and what makes a person a prophet and what makes a person not a prophet that thinks he's a prophet, and the importance of the prophet and the importance of the prophecies. The Mosai gives the prophecies to the prophets. He doesn't give it to the King David received prophecies. King Solomon received prophecies. When you read King Solomon, the songs of Solomon, it wasn't a man singing songs to his wife. I heard Captain Tazariak say that. Oh yeah, King Solomon was singing songs to his wife. No, those were songs that had prophetic messages in it. The same thing with the Psalms. The Psalms have prophetic messages in it. Get it right, troop. Why would the Most High just say, oh, you know what, I like them songs that Solomon sung, I'll put them in the Bible? Has nothing to do with prophecy. There's prophecies all throughout the Song of Solomon, all throughout the book of Job. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom.